fucked up, man. This the biggest shit. Hey, yo, Jim Jones, man. Yo, Jim Jones, what's up, man?
What's up, Joe?
Shit. Let me throw my fucking Santa Claus shit on right here, man.
Up. Yeah, get my shit a little bit more clearer. What's up, Joe?
Yo, Jim, man, I just had Mano on. I said if I could describe, if I could title this show anything, it would be called Rappers Are in Danger.
That's a fact.
You've been talking about this, and you've been saying that the most dangerous job in the world is being a rapper.
That's a fact.
Elaborate on that for me, my brother, please.
Just we targets that, and we don't even know why we targets half the time. Like, everybody know who we are. No, we don't know who anyone is, and we live through our music, and our music reflects a lot of aggression. And these kids out here only follow our music, and that puts us in harm's way. And I think that social media has hyped it up tenfold from when it was an era before all the IG and everything. Now it's just disgusting because you can see it, you can hear it. So people don't get to really see everything that we go through. But every time that we go outside, maybe 90% of the times we go to a show, it's some type of something that happened. Like, people don't see that. Like, you don't get to see all the times that we out and everything that we got to go through. Like, rappers don't get on the IGs and tell about every infraction that happened, but every time we step outside, it's likely for something to happen that's not in our favor and shit like that. And we get painted as the bad guy because a lot of times we trying to protect ourselves from some of these things that go on around us and shit like that. It's just fucked up to be a target and you don't know who's targeting you. It's scary. You
know what's scary is one night I'm in the my sister's on here, Remy's on here, and Pat. One night I'm with them. We doing a fucking charity for Pretty Lou. Shout out my brother Pretty Lou. He got the hottest DJ show out here on IG. And we did a charity, and I'm with Remy the whole night. And next thing I know, some girl said Remy punched her in the face. And Remy got locked up over the shit. She was on parole. She could have did time. They could have stopped her parole, gave her more parole. And Remy never did shit. I was standing right next to her. We walked past the hip-hop police and all that. They would have stopped her. And I'm like, what kind of fucking shit is this? And Remy looks at me, because she barely even comes out of the house. She looks at me like, yo, Joe, I did that charity for you. I did that. I'm like, oh,
it's scary because there was a time where the people will protect the artists. Now it seems like the artists are more of a target than anything. Like, look at all the deaths and all of the shootings and that happened to rappers in this past year alone. Like, I've been in this game a long time. I've never seen so much violence
every
done
day
against an artist in my life in the time of me being in this music. This has been a vicious year. Like, it's going down. Every time you look on IG or something, there's another rapper in another town, whether it be a local rapper, whether it be a rapper that we all know. Like, we getting gunned down here. Like, it's kind of crazy when I look at it. So,
is it some of the rappers' faults, or is it jealousy?
It's everybody's fault. Jealousy. Rappers got we got a problem with rubbing it in people's faces. When we become rappers, it feels like some of us think that we're Superman and we're not human anymore. And they think that you can do as you please out here, or do as you please towards people and shit like that. And it's all coming to a head at this point. Like, this is a year where everybody's going for what they know. As you can see, people not taking no shit from police because the police been doing us so wrong. So it's like no one's exempt for what's going on, and it feels like we're definitely a big ass target out here. And I suggest rappers tighten up. So when you hear us say stay safe and stay dangerous at the same time, it's kind of spooky to have to tell somebody that every time you leave their presence and shit like that.
You know what? We come up at a time, especially me and you, and where we used to be like, yo, I ain't got no security. Are we dumb to not have security now if we're so-called rich, making money, jury on, targets like you say? Are we dumb if we walking around with no security?
100%. You're an idiot if you're a person of success and you're making some money out here. You're stupid if you don't have security, some professional security at that. something that'll help you get back home safely to your family. I mean, there's different levels of security. I know we all got homies that are ready to ride for us and die for us, and they're included too with your security detail. But you know, you gotta have somebody that's there for you and there for your sole concern, and make sure that above all, whatever happens, that you're gonna get back home safely the same way that you went out for your money and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's, you know how it goes when you're in the field. It's like it's nasty out there. So you gotta have somebody that's watching the field and watching you. You know, 9 times out of 10, your homies is partying just as much as you partying. You know what I mean? And they're not always on point the way you would want them to be on point. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a billion situations I can tell you where security is needed that you can get out. And not to mention having a valuable witness to get out of certain situations when things do go down. You heard? Like,
nah, that's a super fact. that right there is a super fact. Today is Jay-Z Appreciation Day. Me and you, let's just keep it a buck. Me and you, we had our moments where we was at odds with Jay-Z. I squashed my beef with him first, and then you squashed your beef with him too. And even while we had little attitudes or whatever back and forth with Jay-Z, we've always respected him and what he brought to the game as a businessman, as a human being.
That's a fact.
Tell me how Jay-Z has inspired you in your life.
In my life, I can't lie. Jay's always been one of my favorite rappers, even from before we even had a deal, even from before when Cam and Mace went down to try to get signed to Jay and them when they was like, I forgot what street they had the office on and shit like that. Like Jay's always been a dope person, and from where he came from and what he represented, was things that made me feel good to see somebody like us really putting on and really getting to a serious bag. And he went from getting the bag to doing good business, and the business moves he was making was something that can't be duplicated. You know what I mean? Like it's a trip to see black person out of rap become a billionaire. And all started from similar routes and shit like that. You know what I mean? So it gives me inspiration where there's no time to stop now, because it can happen for a few of us, maybe not all of us, but you know what I mean? You know what we digging for. Jay's a dope dude, man, from the rhymes to what he put on for the industry. Like, you know what I mean? Like he broke a lot of walls down that we probably wouldn't have been able to do at all if he didn't take that step first and shit like that. Not to mention what Rockefeller did for the whole culture and shit like that. Like they put on. I mean, they made us feel good for New York. Like, you know, it's New York, it's the West Coast, it's the East Coast, it's the South and shit like that. Like what Rockefeller did for us was always keep us above float and shit like that, because it's a nasty game out there. You know what I mean? So I definitely tip my hat to him. Above all, I don't regret anything, and I wouldn't change anything. It was better this way, you know what I mean? Especially for me to come around full circle and shit like that, and be able to do business with Jay and Rock Nation, and be able to call him on the phone or text him on the phone. You know, it's just funny how life comes around full circle and shit like that. So I definitely tip my hat to the big bro, man, for real.
You know, when you talking the whole time, all I'm hearing is 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, baby. Hit it. You are now looking at one smart man. Yo, my brother, I was in that motherfucking club, drunk as shit, playing around with $1 million or 2 million. And he was like 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4. Nah, and I don't give a fuck if we having the best time. That shit was hitting me like
some raping Def Jam till I'm the 100 million.
Till man. I'm 100 million man, and he really's doing this, and then some. And I'm like, damn man, this motherfucker got this shit figured out for real.
Yeah, he did early. He had to figure it out. Before that, well, they all had to figure it out early, and he just kept it going. Like he figured out some other shit after they had to figure it out. He figured out some more shit on top of figuring out some shit. That nigga.
You know, you have a special relationship with OG Juan. How did you become tight with Juan? And it was before you even argued with Jay-Z. I know you know Juan for a long time.
Yeah, I know Juan from just watching him in Harlem and moving through and at the Rucker game and pulling up some of the dopest joints, dopest rides, commanding attention, and Dominican boys is in the building. They go crazy on the court. Like at that era, you know, Cam was playing Rucker since he was 14, 15, so he was going up against Everybody's going up against you. I don't know if did you have teams back then?
Not at that time, but you know, I had asked you one time off camera and everything because Cam had played for me in a celebrity basketball one game and he ran out of breath. He ran one time, that was it. He sat his ass down. And so I was like, yo, man, maybe this shit is front. Because everybody said Cam was nice, but I had asked you, I don't know if you remember, somewhere I said, yo, Jim, is Cam fronting or was he nice? And you told me he was nice.
Nah, Cam was nice. 15 definitely Rucker Park 10, all the old heads down. You know, he took his team to the championship at Madison Square Garden. They lost it. But above all, in Harlem, Cam probably is one of the illest individuals to come out of Harlem to play basketball, along with the likes of like Ali Mo, Shamgar, Kareem Reed. Like, but you could ask all of them kids that was on your teams and all that, ask them what Cam used to do. Cam used to chip all of them up. Like,
nah, he used to tell me, man, but I got let down, man. He came on a celebrity. Mace too. This dude Mace did one trick, and I almost had to give him the
Mace wasn't like Mace used to play ball, but he wasn't like Cam. Cam was really did with Richard Parker. It was Cam and Richard Parker from Manhattan Center. Them niggas is the one that took him to the championship. Like Cam was not a game at all, not to be played in high school ball. Like his name wasn't bad.
I'm glad you said that because you gave me some confidence in the street rumors because everybody told me Cam was dead nice. And when I seen him play the one time, he was out of shape.
Yeah, he be out of shape. Like, he don't do it like that. But you can Google him. All his high school clips, everything. You can ask anybody from Rucker when he used to play. Like,
nah, they said he nice. Jim, you ain't got to explain it no more, man. Shout out my brother A Butter, too.
Yeah, Cam raised A Butter, man. Cam showed A Butter how to play ball. That's why A Butter was really that nice. And A Butter tell you. Like, and I'm not trying to take nothing away from him, but that's our little bro. Like, remember, like, we half the years older than him. Cam really showed him how to get his heart. I remember one summer, A Butter might have been about 15. He wasn't shit one summer. The next summer, it was a wrap. Like he tore the whole Harlem up until he stopped playing ball like that. Like shouts to A Butter, man.
Yeah, A Butter used to kill us. He was our competition. He played for Tony Rosa, and then we wound up giving him the bag. Like I was like, yo, you got to play with. I brought him to Miami for the first time. I threw him in the drop rolls. I took him out every night, put him in the penthouse.
That's like, what people don't know, like how important. Right? Like people need to know how important Rucker was at a point. Like people were really, coaches were paying to have big time players on their team every time they had a game. Like they was damn near giving niggas cars. They was taking niggas shopping. Niggas coming to niggas blocks. They giving niggas thousands to get fresh.
I was there. I'm gonna tell you, being that we talking beautiful thing. We talking about Jay-Z Day. Yes. And I gotta say what's up and show love to my brother Kareem Reed because when Jay-Z and them brought that team back out, the Rockefeller team, and I was already the champion the year. 2 years before that I was the champ. I felt offended that they came back, but the real beef between me and Jay-Z that year was that they pulled up on Kareem Reed. And everybody knew Kareem Reed was legendary Terror Squad, Bronx. But they pulled up to Kareem Reed and tried to throw the biggest bag on earth to snatch Kareem Reed up. And I'm going to tell you about a man with morals. Kareem Reed went with me. We went to eat at El Conde up there on 170-something in Broadway where they got the churrasco steaks. So I sat down with Kareem, and Kareem said, yo, they opened the bag, and they said, they're going to give me a bunch of money, this and this and that. And I told him, listen, obviously, Kareem, you know I ain't got as much money as that guy over there. I'm going to take care of you. What you going to do? He said, you crazy, man. I'm BX. I'm TS. And he stood on the table. And to this day, he's one of my best friends on earth. But they try to do it to me and snatch up. John Strick fell for it.
But that's how nasty the record. That's people don't know. That's how nasty the game was. Like it was like really the NBA. Like niggas stealing players from me, probably. Like I got more money for this car. Like this shit was nasty.
Yo, your man John Strick went with the Rockefeller team because he knew Warren from back in the days. He hurt me so bad, man, when I seen him out there with those guys because he was like the heart and soul of our team. But that's how it really was. So basically, when they look at Paid in Full, they look at all this shit. In New York City, the Rucker was always a major staple in New York City. If you was fly, I used to go there way before I rap. And on purpose. Like I would open, like, look, yo, Jim, you don't want to get me into the bragging stories. Like I come out there with 1,000 chains by myself, fat Puerto Rican nigga, no shirt on, white drop top Benz, leave the door open on purpose to see if somebody was gonna try to take my shit. Come out there, they like, damn, that's homeboy. And they be like, yo, what up, crack, boom, break out. You know, you had to get seen on 145th, Sugar Hill, Willie Burger. If it wasn't in front of the Apollo, because the Apollo itself, 125th, was the show of a lifetime. Yeah, no, it was anybody from anywhere in New York would come down with any type of whip. If you had a mean whip, I don't give a fuck if you was from Long Island or Westchester. You was coming down to 125th to show that shit off.
25th had it back in the day.
25th super had it. Willie Burger, and then once you done with the 25th, you go to Willie Burger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You stun out there, and then when you actually want to eat something, if you're a Bronx cat, you go up to 149th and Grand Concourse and you go to the Olympic.
Oh, Olympics.
And you order a cheeseburger deluxe.
Nah, the listen, the Olympics after we used to go to Skate Key used to be nuts. Oh my God. Oh my God. I remember seeing Little Kim. Little Kim in there. She was on God Bless the Dead L. Oh man, Big L when Big L. This is super early. So when Kim just started, she was on Big L. I never forget that. I was in awe, like, man, L got it right there. They fucking with L.
L was with Little Kim. Let me tell you about Big L. Let me tell you what, rest in peace, Big L. He's digging in the crates. My brother, the castle was sick around the corner, Kid Capri. So I go like this, rest in peace, my brother B.O. So I go, this is what Big L did to me, right? Shit is foul as hell, but it is what it is, right? I'm hanging in the studio with Mace, and we see y'all all grew up in that same neighborhood. Jones 139th, all that, they children of the corn, they all from that McGruff, all that's that hood, right?
Yep.
So I'd see Mace, he's in the studio, I hang out with him. I think you was there, I think Cam was there. We was laughing, telling jokes all fucking night, popping shit. It was just the best time, right? And the next day, I'm in the tunnel, right? So I'm in the tunnel. You know how we are, Jim. I'm in there 20, 30 deep, whatever. So L come over to me, right? He like, yo, crack, I need you. I said, yo, what's up? You know, Big L, my little brother. Yeah. I said, yo, L, what's up? Nah. I got to holler at these niggas, this and this and that. This is a Joprah moment, guys. So I follow him, and you know, we ready to catch wreck for L, 1,000,000%. He pulls up to Mason Bethel, man.
Oh, man.
And I'm standing with L, and they grew up together. They brothers, and the nigga L start going off on Mace, and I felt like the biggest backstabber hypocrite in the world. I was hanging out with Mace the night before, and I'm sitting there like this, but you know, L blood. L the bloodline, digging in the crates. He blood. Man, I remember Mace looked at me. Yeah, he never trusted me again in his life. L was talking to him, but he was looking at me like he couldn't believe that shit. He was like, word. Like, for real, crack. Like,
nah, they all of them had their little riffs uptown. Cam, Mace, everybody had got into the little shits back in the day because we were so young with that success, and they started getting money. It was just different. Then Mace popped off. Mace was looking like the king of Harlem. He wasn't showing no love. He wasn't giving back to the community. He wasn't picking niggas like L up, shit like you know what I mean? Like, it just.
So that's the energy. That's why the energy between everybody in Harlem, like Mason, all with Cam and everybody. It was like once he blew, he forgot where he came from.
Yeah, so you gotta figure Mace wasn't a hustler coming up. He didn't know how to get to no money. Like niggas like me and Cam always knew how to get fresh, stay with sneakers, knew how to hustle, dip and dab, get to the bag a little bit. Mace wasn't on that. You dig? He was a little bit less fortunate. Like you dig? Like we more or less made sure we held him up, made sure he was fresh, made sure you know what I mean. Like he wasn't selling no slabs, he wasn't selling no cracks, he wasn't getting no packs, he wasn't doing none of that. So when you that young and you know, I've been in that situation where I didn't have, and I'm around niggas that's getting Jordans and all that type of shit. I know how I feel. I feel like a bozo. I figured out how to get to the pack. Like I need to know what they. Oh, that's what y'all doing? Well, count me in because I feel crazy. I need to get fresh. But that wasn't his thing and shit like that. So when he hit, it was like hitting lottery, and in turn it was like, now I got the bag. Let me show y'all something. Y'all niggas gonna have to kiss my ass now. And that shit didn't go as good as he wanted it to.
Yeah, and you know it's crazy because that's a problem in hip hop. A major problem is when you rap about certain shit, but we knew you in the hood before you popped off, and we know you ain't about them lyrics. And so that's where people start trying these guys. When you start hearing about rappers getting tried and all that, it's because they're like, yo, bro, you wasn't about that. Like, and now you talking all that. At least have, while you talking that, at least have 2 or 3 guys that's really about that with you.
He didn't have nobody. So the niggas that was about that in the town in Harlem was on his head top. Niggas was on his head top in that era. That's why he had to move, go to Atlanta, all type of different shit. Because the niggas that's really about that, getting that bag, dig on owning blocks and shit like that was on his head top. Word up.
Oh man, I never knew
Like
that. I never went in.
He caused a big riff up in Harlem and shit like that. R.P. God bless Baby Maine and Pop Lottie and shit like that. Like those
Like
are
some guys who was standing up for him and all that was clashing up there.
Yeah, you dig?
People who liked them, people don't like them. They was like,
so you dig? They get this, but you dig? Like I
you
respect
know,
it.
Jim,
Everybody do it they way. You dig? I can't make nobody do nothing they don't want to do or do.
Jim, you got this $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
You come in the studio, I'm with Dre. You start breaking it down to me. And I'm looking at you. And I'm seeing you explain it. And I said, my God, Jim Jones might have cracked the code. He might have $1 billion idea. And I'm sitting there and because I know how you felt when you was breaking it down to me. That's how I talk to other dudes when I'm trying to pull something off and I really believe in something. And tell us about this Quarantine Studios.
Shit. The Quarantine Studios are something I started using myself as the guinea pig, using my artistry, and it was a money grab at the beginning because of all the shows and stuff stopping and be so used to the back end, and me myself start panicking because that back end be good. Like you depend on them $20,000-$30,000 a weekend for myself is pretty lucrative and shit like that.
Spectacular.
You know what I mean? So when that slowed up, it's like, all right, what we gonna do? I mean, I know how to make money in a lot of different ways, but music is the easiest way that and has been the leader of the income and shit like that. And I just said I put my services out there. So alone providing my services, I ended up making a shitload of money. When I ended up making a shitload of money, I started including different people. And I really respect DJ Envy for what he did. Like, you know, DJ Envy is like a rapper, if people don't know. Like, he's probably more powerful than a rapper and more popping than a rapper because of his radio show. And I was reaching out to different artists and stuff like that. And I don't think they understood what I was trying to tell them. And the one person who understands money was DJ Envy. And DJ Envy was like the first real person I got to really understand and let me use his likeness and use him in a way that it could be, you know what I mean, profitable or important to what we did. And after that, I end up figuring out a loop of how to record in real time and don't have to leave my house, and I don't need an engineer in my house. Like, I figured out how to manipulate the computer screen with three different platforms that's out there and turns it into something that works for me. So Quarantine Studios is more like Uber or Amazon for the music industry. And I mean that by saying because we have every component that a record label has under Quarantine Studios, from publicists to entertainment lawyers to engineers to producers to publishing to the merch to graphic designs to you name it, we could tap you in from Quarantine Studio sides if that's
and one of the main components is I could be in my house if I got the studio, not even studio, just a computer. I could be in my house, you could be in New York, and the engineer could be in Atlanta, and we could record a song together in real time as
100%.
if we was in the studio.
100%. Right now, I can send you a link right now. You could upload it if you had a little setup in your house. You could upload it. I tell my engineer to come on. The engineer come on, and then that's it. I ain't got to do nothing but get in the booth. Tell the engineer play some beats. Engineer play some beats. Once me and you figure out a beat we like, and I write my rhyme, I'm going to the booth. Tell the engineer bring it back, record. If I was an auto tune, I tell him add auto tune. When you get your shit done, he turn around, go into your computer, take control, upload the beat, put the attachment on there so you can hear like you in the studio with me exactly and shit like that. And after that, it's golden. And if you bring it back, he can mix it down and shit. You can put it up the same night if you had that super loop to the to all the platforms and shit like that. But it's like that simple. There's so much you could do with it. It's like you could do publishing from instant publishing from these live virtual rooms. You could do record label deals from these rooms. You could do showcases. It's endless amounts of things that you can do from this virtual space that we've created. And keep in mind that we're just a service. So we're here to help artists in all sorts. And we've added comedy. We've added actual art for people that's visual art, people that's dope with paintings and stuff like that. So it's a complete artist platform. And we just
I seen somebody painting the Mike Tyson the day of the fight. What was that about?
Andrew lost the artist. So we under Quarantine Studios we did quarantine art. So there's a plethora of artists out there that don't get a platform or don't get to get seen. So we've been trying to help artists sell their paintings on that platform. And Andalus is a dope artist. He did a tribute to Kobe Bryant, I believe it was. So a lot of people know him, and we started doing the live auctions on live while he's actually painting pictures where people could see and give a chance to put their bid in and buy the actual painting online.
Now, how about the artists when they have an album release or mixtape release or a single release? You guys throw a virtual single release party, right?
Yeah, so we have a partnership through Quarantine Studios and Zap Life where even with the mixtapes, like, so when people do these tag artist mixtapes, we do it virtually. So the artist gets to submit their music and get to talk to me while I play their music. And then we also have virtual mixtape parties, which Zap Life has a platform where we can add as many people as you want to come to your mixtape release party. And that goes for anything. If it was an album release, no matter what it is, we have access to platforms that can fulfill that. So you even got
man, there's COVID out there, Jimmy, and you know I'm a big fan of yours, a big supporter. But I see you every day shooting a fucking video. You in French, you in this one, you in Davies, you in like you working past the COVID, huh?
I've taken 3 COVID tests in the past 2 weeks. I just got my results from my last COVID test today, which says negative. Like, I don't want people to look at that camera and think that I'm out there playing any games. I'm well aware that COVID is very serious. What you don't see is when I get back in my car, I always got hot tea. I always got the fucking shit for your hands, to whatever they hand sanitizer. I got vitamins in my car that I take every time I get inside. Always, like, I do everything as precautious as I can before I get back in this house and shit like that. And when I come back in the house, I always try to make sure I drink a cup of hot water. Like, all these preventive measures that I could do so I could stay healthy here for my family and shit like that. But when everything got locked down, I did a whole shitload of features and shit like that. And now that it's opened up and people want to get their videos done before I lock back down again, and that's a bag. I can't let the bag go because that is what pays my family. So this platform kept me away for a while, but it's inevitable to do a video without being in contact. Until I figure out how to make a hologram of me and send them out there in the street, I got to get the bag. So, you know, I'm going to try to stay as clean and as healthy as possible. I got all type of shit for the immune system that I take every day, from the zinc to the elderberry to the vitamin C. I take Airborne with me in my pouch every day. So, you know, I do everything possible because I'm going to get that money, and I
gotta get it. Yo, Jim, you gotta get it. I know you dropped the deluxe.
Yes.
Tell them about that, because I think I was on the original, the New York joint.
Yes. The deluxe was bunch of records we had that we didn't put out on the original joint that we was on, and I added a few more records. As you know, Heat Makers is family, you know what I mean, bloodline. So it's always a pleasure to do
Got an
records with him.
arsonist.
Yeah,
Yo,
shout
you
out
was,
to
and so the rumor was you was out there in Aruba with Fab for his birthday, and you was writing songs looking at the flamingos and shit.
Yeah, I actually finished El Capo by the pool in Aruba. I did 3 records. I finished the whole deluxe at the pool in Aruba. When my engineer was back in New York or back in Atlanta, wherever he was, I was on the pool in Aruba. I set the whole shit up by the pool. They let me smoke. They ain't bother me. You know, Aruba's my hometown. That's where I'm from. Like, that's where my family's born. Like, so it's a pleasure when I'm there and shit like that. They really take care of me. But I finished the El Capo Deluxe, quarantine studio style, right by the pool, with weed and this going in with no shirt on either. You're
Yo, let me tell you something, Jim. How could they get in contact with Quarantine Studios?
You could get in contact with us through the DM at the Quarantine Studios, or you could go to bookings at quarantinestudios.com and get in touch with us. Or you could go to Tidal and go to the webpage and Tidal. Shout out to Tidal. I did a partnership with Tidal. If y'all don't know, Joe is a big person on the big side of the board of Quarantine Studios. I don't want y'all to get fooled to him up here. He is part of the board of Quarantine Studios. The board is a slim board, very slim board, but this guy is very smart. He's on the board of Quarantine Studios, but we did a partnership with Tidal. Tidal is now in the midst of creating a complete platform for Quarantine Studios, the technology involved, the apps and everything. Right now we have Quarantine Studios playlists up on Tidal, and also you go there and find out more information about Quarantine Studios. Shout out to Tidal, shout out to OG, shout out to Jay, shout out to the big lady Dez. I appreciate everybody over there.
Hey, yo, I seen, you know, I had Jewels on here. I had you run him down and chase him to make sure he did it. I seen Cam the other day. I seen Killer with the pink, Sherlin with the pink. He's still on that pink shit. Huh?
Oh, that's his shit. That's his shit. He going pink to the death. Shouts to Killer. Killer's actually in LA right now. He has a television show on MTV that he's filming for. Pretty dope. I'm proud of him. Bro.
Wow. God bless. God bless, man. Yes. God bless.
Yes.
Any Dipset reunions?
Yes, we're gonna do another Dipset album. Actually, but what's more important to us now is figuring out if we want to do a movie or if we want to do like a series. That's what we're trying to get into now.
God bless you, my brother. You know I love you, man. Stay safe. You know the shit crazy out here.
Yes.
60 eyes open, fuck 2. Like you.
Yeah.
What can we do? We gotta stay home. We gotta stay home.
We always have these conversations, Joe. Like, I pray for everybody that don't listen, man. You dig? Sometimes the niggas prefer to take it over their head than put it in their pocket, but that's a whole nother story, man. I learned my lesson a long time ago, and even in my recent bouts and shit like that, it was a real reality check for me on how close that I almost got caught up again in some shit that I should not even have been nowhere next to. But you know, that's life, man.
God bless you here, man, and you good, man, and let's just stay safe and push forward. You got $1 billion. I keep telling the people, you have $1 billion idea.
We got to cash it in there.
You got to cash it in, bro. I'm telling you, this shit is worth $1 billion, your shit. I caught it.
You know what else, though? We going to need the support of our comrades and our peers inside of this industry for us to make the impact we need with these type of platforms. This is where we need the support. I don't need $1. I don't need nothing. I just need a you dig? Like, but we'll see how this
And
goes.
you know, that's why you remind me of my man Black Tone. Shout out Black Tone. You know Black Tone, the OG.
Yeah.
And Tone was like, yo, man, he said, I was talking to him one day. He said, yo, Joe, you changed. It looks like you just want everybody to win. I said, no, I never changed. I've always felt like that. And that's how I feel about all of us as comrades, as alma mater, because we really all love each other. They try to play us against each other. Ego comes into it. everything, but we all love each other. You know, I went to Prodigy's funeral and I wasn't his best friend, and I was crying in front of everybody. I couldn't help it because he's such a pillar of hip hop. We lost a big one in New York. And so we all really love each other, and they make us think we don't. So, you know, alongside you, I'm going to go reach out to everybody. Whatever we need people to do, they're going to do, because everybody, it's time we got to uplift each other.
Yes, it is.
We got to uplift each other. All right, Jim, stay up, my brother.
Appreciate you.
Quarantine studio.
Yes.